You go to Canada often?
Nope.
No? Why not?
Canada is lawless right now. I know here in Singapore that I do not want to contravene the authorities and the police. And in Canada, it's a revolving door. Two guys, I think, had over 400 arrests in Vancouver. And it's a revolving door. They're being eaten to support their drug habit. So they legalized, I don't know if you realize, in Vancouver, they legalized all drugs, fentanyl, cocaine, heroin. And these are people who cannot take care of themselves. And when you're a taxpayer in those countries and you're supporting their habit and they're not capable of performing a livelihood, I'm sorry, I would stop paying my taxes. I would start a movement of even 2 or 3% of 40 million people and saying, I'm not paying my taxes while this rubbish is going on. You're not doing this on my dollar. But Singapore has got a straight, clear message that don't mess around, and you don't. And you will grow to respect the authorities. You know, I have nothing but the respect. When I see a police officer, I am not afraid of him in this country. I will go up to him, as I said, and I'll ask him a question. And the government is probably one of the most efficient governments in the world. My public transport is perfect, efficient, really cheap. Housing is expensive, and the other costs of living need to be addressed in Singapore. But how the society functions, you're never going to have anyone come up to you in Singapore and accost you or look to combat you. Yeah. Or, there's no drug-raged individuals ranting on the streets. It's really an optimal society that way, because I really believe that you need, for again, that small minority of any population, give them an inch, they'll take a yard. That's the weakness of the Western culture, and it's a revolving door. Yeah. I'll tell you a quick story. Well, the last time I went back to Canada on my 50th birthday, I went to Vancouver. And on a bright Saturday morning, I walked down. Have you ever been to Vancouver?
No.
Okay, well, I walked down Granville Street. Vancouver is a very small city, 72 blocks, and then downtown is 14 by 16 blocks. And I walked on a bright Saturday, July morning, downtown, just dressed the way I am now, clean and professional. And I had 5 youths come up to me, and one of them pulled a knife on me and said, hey, you rich SOB, give us $50. Give us your wallet. And I looked at him. I said, wow. I said, I haven't been in Canada in years, and this is my welcome. I said, no. And they looked at me. I said, I left home when I was 16, and I put myself through 12 years of medical school, and I said, take a look at my knuckles, the scars. I worked in labor as a construction and carpentry for 12 years, putting myself through school. I said, I understand life can be really rough sometimes. And the 5 of you, you're robbing me in broad daylight at knife point? I said, I'm going to give you $100, but you're going to have a 3-minute lecture, the dad lecture that you never had. Because I'm sure most of you are good kids, and maybe you've fallen on tough times, maybe your father was an alcoholic and beat you. I said, I'm going to give you, if a police officer comes up, I'm going to say I'm giving you a donation of $100. And I gave them a $100 bill, and I gave them a 3-minute dad talk about, life's not fair, life's not easy, but I said, 2 of you are probably going to end up dead in the next year or 2. But I said, you got a really good mouthpiece on you. And I could see that you got clear eyes. If you go, you could probably be the assistant manager of that store in 6 months. And you could be probably the manager in 2 years. And you can save your life, because you guys are headed to nowhere. And that was the last time I was in Canada.